Welcome to Preparing for the Individualized Education Plan meeting. This video is produced by Disability Rights Florida, but is not a replacement for the advice of an attorney. You may request free and confidential information and advice regarding a specific special education issue by contacting Disability Rights Florida directly at 1-800-342-0823 or www.disabilityrightsflorida.org. This video is one of several available on our website and YouTube channel produced to assist you with aspects of special education services in Florida. In this video, Preparing for the Individualized Education Plan meeting, we will cover the following topics. 1. What is an Individualized Education Plan, or IEP? 2. What should you do to prepare for an IEP meeting? 3. How should you handle disagreements with your IEP team? 4. What makes a meeting more likely to be successful? Every child with a disability receiving exceptional student education, or ESE services, is required by federal law, specifically the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, to have a written IEP. An IEP is a document outlining the different individualized supports and services that your child will need to be successful in school. Consider the IEP a roadmap to the services and supports that the IEP team has identified as needed and which the school district is therefore responsible for providing and implementing. The purpose of an IEP is to set reasonable and measurable goals for your child that allow you to measure academic progress over the course of the school year. Consider the IEP your contract with the school. It lists the various services that the school is responsible for implementing. To learn about the details of each section of an IEP, access the last two videos in this 6-part series. Before going to the IEP meeting, review and familiarize yourself with your child's IEP and your procedural safeguards. Gain a clear understanding of your child's academic, social, and behavioral goals. Include your child in this process whenever possible and think about future and long-term plans. What is your master plan? And what progress is needed this year towards fulfilling that plan? Provide your IEP team with your outline of important issues before your IEP meeting. This helps make the meeting more efficient. Ask your child's IEP team if they have prepared a draft IEP and request a copy of it prior to the meeting. Prior to the meeting, ask for any evaluations and data that will be reviewed by the team. These advanced steps will help both you and your IEP team members prepare for your meeting, and some members of your IEP team will respect that you are helping to make the meeting more efficient and effective. Before the meeting, you may also discuss aspects of the draft goals with different members of the team, such as the occupational or physical therapist. You know your child better than anyone else at your IEP meeting. It often takes teachers a semester or longer to get to know your child's true academic strengths, weaknesses, and needs. Make a list of accommodations and resources, in other words, the help your child needs, to succeed in the general education classroom. Before or during the meeting, provide your team with that list of your child's likes and dislikes, what he or she is capable of, what he or she struggles with, and what he or she needs in order to be successful at school. Before sitting down with your team, review any evaluations at home and make a list of the concerns and questions that you need additional information or clarification on. Get input from your child by asking questions like, what would help you with reading at school? Oftentimes, your child can communicate these needs to you. If your child is capable of participating in the IEP process, include them. Together, state and federal law also gives you the right to bring an adult of your choosing to help at meetings. This right extends to any meetings about your child with school officials, including IEP meetings. This could be a family member, therapist, or other professional, or advocate. You can also bring an attorney, but the attorney would have to talk to the school's attorney first. Florida Statute 1002.20, subparagraph 21A, from the 2013 legislative session, makes it easier for you to bring help by prohibiting schools from objecting to or discouraging you from bringing an adult to a meeting, and the school cannot retaliate against you if you do. Carefully select the adult you want to bring and help them prepare for the meeting. If any of the required attendees need to leave before the IEP team meeting is over, that person needs to tell the group up front and get your written permission. If you are attending your child's annual IEP meeting, make sure that the prior year's progress and goals are reviewed before starting on new ones. If your child isn't making progress, ask why. It is the school's responsibility to explain any lack of progress to you and to develop a plan to address the issue. If, prior to the meeting, you anticipate disagreement, request a recording of the IEP meeting. If at the meeting you disagree with how an issue is decided, be sure to tell the IEP team during the meeting that you do not think the IEP is appropriate and that you disagree with all or part of it. Here are 5 steps that you can follow to help the group reach an agreement. First, clarify by asking questions. This can help narrow the disagreement or result in agreement. Second, see others' points of view. Try to understand where others are coming from and make an effort to seek the school's position and the rules governing their policy. Third, find common ground. What points do you agree on? Determine what issues you want to argue and what issues you can come to agreement on. Fourth, add information. Give more information that clarifies your request or disagreement. For example, provide your IEP team with any private reports and data that you have on your child. Fifth, state your position clearly. It isn't enough to just say your child needs a service. Explain why and how this service can assist your child in making meaningful educational progress. Use facts to support your position so that your point is credible and not considered emotional. If the issue is unresolved when your meeting ends, you can sign the IEP, but next to your signature, write clearly that you do not agree. Make sure to follow that up with a letter and restate your position. The following tips can help you and your team come to agreement and can ensure a successful meeting. Share your vision for your child's school year and future with a positive attitude, even if you disagree about something. Remember to stay on task and focused. This whole process is about your child, and everyone is working towards that goal. Ask about tape recording the meeting, or have someone with you take notes. Also, avoid bringing up irrelevant issues that happened in the past. Bringing up old grievances will not help you have a successful meeting. Ask that the notes or minutes be read aloud prior to the end of the meeting, and also request a copy. Also, request a copy of the IEP before you leave. This will help you to remain organized and remember previous topics discussed. Avoid personal attacks during meetings. Remember that everyone is there to help your child succeed. Ask for a copy of the school's Code of Conduct, and remember that the Code of Conduct must align with IDEA and federal laws. Do not believe that the professionals on your child's IEP team are the only experts. Parents are also experts and know their children best. Put all requests in writing to your child's school. This allows you to keep a paper trail. As a rule of thumb, if it is not in writing, it didn't happen. Rather than just requesting a service, request assessments that support the need for services. Keep in mind that families do not have to accept the school's assessments if they do not agree with it. You have the right to request an independent educational evaluation. You are also entitled to request a copy of the evaluation prior to the meeting and have it explained to you. Here are some important do nots to keep in mind. Do not accept goals that don't appear to be attainable or measurable. Without attainable and measurable goals, it is difficult to determine if your child has made progress throughout the school year. Do not allow placement decisions to be made before goals and objectives are written. This helps protect your child from improper decisions about least restrictive environment. Keep in mind that it is the IEP and services that should drive placement, not your child's disability. Do not allow the IEP team to rush the meeting. If issues have not been fully addressed, request another meeting be scheduled. Do not hesitate to ask questions. Informed decisions cannot be made when parents are not familiar with the terminology used by educators. So ask questions and make sure you understand what is being said and decided. Here are some strategies for after the meeting to ensure that the IEP is being properly implemented. Document everything. If it is not in writing, it's your word against theirs. Ensure that each team member has received a copy of the IEP. Between meetings, communicate regularly with your child's teacher about your child's progress or your concerns. You may also request quarterly IEP meetings. Review your child's schoolwork and ask for data on goals. Doing this will allow you to actively monitor progress and trouble areas at school. Stay up to date with changes to the law and rules so that you are always prepared to be the best advocate that you can be for your child. Maintain a notebook or file with school documentation, and make sure to visit your child's classrooms. We hope this preparing for the IEP meeting video was helpful. You may find other special education videos on our website and YouTube channel, along with information about other education topics. If you need more help, you may request it from Disability Rights Florida. Our services are free and confidential.